Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm excited to go to start this workshop today. I appreciate you taking the time. We're going to go over the new SEO formula for painting contractors. So as you know, or if you're aware of SEO at all, Google is constantly changing how they rank websites. Their algorithm, they're always making updates to it. At least, I think it's at least once a quarter that they make those updates. So it's good to keep your finger on it and make sure you're staying up to date to make sure you're staying at the getting those high rankings for your business. So I'm going to share my screen here. Um, and one of the biggest things we've seen over the last couple of years is AI, right? Google's starting to roll out more and more AI search results. Other search engines are as well, but we haven't quite seen it hit uh, local searches yet. They're not the AI is more for research. When you're searching for things like that on Google, they'll give you more AI results. For local services, we're still seeing kind of that same search results, even though the organic ones are kind of bumped down a bit, but we're still seeing getting some good results with local SEO. So again, this is part of our accelerated growth model. Everything boils down to these three main sections. We got drive leads, maximize conversion, and then optimize results. So what we're looking at today is specifically organic SEO, but this is good to give you the overall picture that you don't just want to focus on one part of this, right? There's an overall strategy that you need to be implementing to make sure you're getting the best results possible online. So SEO, you want to also be doing paid search. You want to make sure your website's set up correctly, and then you want to be optimizing those results and making sure you're getting the best bang for your buck. So again, the accelerated growth roadmap, 9 steps here. So driving leads, maximizing conversion, and optimizing results. So we will look at organic SEO. Our agenda, we're going to look at the latest updates with the Google algorithm, things that you may put in place in the past that could be working or hurting you now, and then how to optimize your website using that new SEO formula. So first thing, does SEO still matter? We get this question all the time. Like I was saying earlier, Google has paid ads, local service ads, the Google business profile, all those kind of stacking up before you get to those organic results. So does it still matter? You can just do paid search, do your paid ads and get at the top. But we really think SEO is still super important. And I got a couple examples here of why, right? So at the top, we got those local service ads, those are sponsored. And then you have your Google Map pack and then the organic results, right? So the Google Map, that is kind of some organic SEO that goes into getting ranked there. And then, of course, right under that as well. And what we see is 71% of the clicks come from those organic results. So yes, you're still getting traffic from the paid ads and your local service ads, and that's part of that overall strategy that you should be implementing. But a lot of the traffic we're seeing is still coming from these organic listings. 67% are coming from these first 5 listings. So if you're not in that first 5, right, when users have to start scrolling, the clicks really drop off pretty quick. And these, we didn't make these up. They're from a company called Moz, and that's where we get the data. So yes, SEO still matters. Here is an example of one of our clients. These are the dashboards, the reporting dashboards that we make for all our clients. But you can see this month, they invested just under $3,000, 52 leads, so about $56 per lead. But if you look down here, their lead breakdown, right? 17 from organic website calls, 4 from their Google Maps, 16 from the paid ads, and then 14 from organic web form fills on their website. So a good amount, still comes from their paid search, but 69% overall came from organic SEO. So still a huge amount of leads came from that organic, even though they are still leveraging their paid ads. So yes, you can't just rely on paid pay-per-click alone. This, we picked this month, for this client because sometimes it goes up and down, right? The paid search can do all the heavy lifting some months, other months the SEO can step in. So it's really goes back again to that overall strategy and making sure you have everything covered. So why is SEO so important? 68% of online experiences begin with a search engine, right? And 53.3% of all website traffic comes from an organic search. So just over half comes from organic, right? Those paid search, the paid ads, right? Google loves putting those on top of the organic results. They're pushing it down, but people are still looking for those organic results. SEO drives 1,000% more traffic than organic social media. So, not to say stop posting on Facebook and Instagram, but SEO is where we see today's buyers, right? People that are looking for your service, they want to get a quote, they want to start the project now. That's where they're searching. They're looking in Google, they're looking on other search engines to find your business today. 69.7% of search queries contain four or more words. So what that means is you don't want to just be mentioning a residential painter, that you're a residential painter. You want to find keywords specific to your area that people are using to find your services. And then SEO leads have a higher close ratio than paid search. So uh, paid search, they still get those, you still get those leads, but for whatever reason, if the customer's doing more research, if they've looked at your competitors, but once you get a lead through SEO, we're seeing a much higher close ratio. And ultimately, those leads are the best leads that we see come in, and they cost the least to get once you have your SEO in place and working well. All right. So the rank factors. There's four different categories that Google uses, right? There's a lot of factors, but these main categories are what we kind of lump them in together. So there's first, your technical. That's how your website's built. That's the foundation, right? How the structure is, making sure that Google can find the content on your website. A lot of times a website can be built to look really good, but not have these technical aspects in place, which makes it harder for Google to find. The next category is on page. This is all the content and the images that you have on your website. Making sure you have the right keywords in your headers, the right meta descriptions that Google is looking for to learn what a page is about. Keyword density, this is one of the things, back in the day used to help a lot, is putting as many keywords on a page as possible to get you ranking for it. Today, that can actually hurt you. So you want to make sure that density, that keyword density is in that sweet spot of not overloading it. You still want to make it readable by humans, right? And have some good content on there. So you want to make sure you have quality content. And then you want to be linking to your other pages. If you make a page for cabinet repaints and you only link to it in the main menu, or you only link to it in the footer in one place, Google isn't going to see that as an important page. So that internal linking is important. Off page, this is everything else on the internet that links back to your website. So your social media, if you get guest posts on a blog, your local chamber of commerce, if they have a link back to your website, citations, so like your Google business profile, right? That has your name, your address, and your phone number on it. So those citations anywhere on the internet, that you can add a citation like that helps with that authority. So, making sure you have Google or Apple Maps set up, uh, Yelp, even if you're not using those accounts, having those citations across the web can help improve your online authority. And then the EAT, this is what Google always goes back to. on what to do, how to make a good website that ranks organically. And it's experience, expertise, authority, and trust, right? So you want to have a great experience for your users. You want to make sure the website loads quick. It works on mobile. Everybody's on their phones. It has to be safe, so you have to make sure it's secure, and you're not right throwing a bunch of pop-ups in their face the whole time. You want to make it easy to navigate so they can find what they're looking for. So those are the four main categories that kind of everything falls into, and we're going to go through those now in a little more in depth. One thing I wanted to show is this is from a few years ago, but local search or map pack ranking factors. It still holds true today. So your Google business profile, making sure that's set up and optimized and active is very important. It accounts for 30% of your influence. And then the next one right after that is what we just talked about, that on-page experience, making sure that your website is easy to navigate, right? It delivers a good experience for its visitors. And then reviews is number 3. So reviews, you always want to have a strategy in place to be getting those Google business reviews. We have another webinar that we did that just focused on your Google business profile. So if you're interested in that, we can leave the link below for that one. But those are like the top 3, right, that you should be focusing on is your Google business profile, making sure your website has that great content and it's a good experience for the users, and then getting those reviews on your Google business profile. So that leads us into the new SEO formula. And first thing is you need to figure out what the most important keywords are based on your service and your service area, right? To see what's your customer base searching for? What services are they looking for specifically? You don't want to, if it was something like in some areas, cabinet repaints, right? If it's a lot of new home builds in an area, right, that's not going to be as popular. So you want to make sure you're finding those keywords that have the best search volume. There's a couple tools, Google Keyword Tool and Google Ads. Those are both free. Google lets you use those, and you can type in a keyword and see what the search volume is to make sure. So a lot of research kind of goes into that for those specific, your specific area. That changes based on location and what those customers are looking for. So then you want to use those keywords that you find and set up a great website with specific unique pages for each keyword. So you don't want to put all of those services on one page. We see a lot of times, well, a company will create a services page and they'll talk about all their services on one page. And that is good to have, but it's harder to rank a page that talks about everything rather than a specific unique page targeting one specific keyword. So again, going back to cabinet repaints, make a specific page just for that, just targeting that keyword, talking about that service, how how you go through that service, and answering the questions that your customers might have. And then optimize your website for that user experience, right? You don't want huge blocks of text. You want it to be broken up, easy to read, bullet points, images, right? People they're not just going to read a wall of text, right? That might work for a little bit to get you on those, get you ranking a little bit, but it's going to be a horrible experience. So you want to make sure that your website's optimized. And then that SEO, that on-site optimization, like we talked about, the technical aspects of it. There's things called header tags that you have to make sure are in the right order that Google likes to see, and some other technical aspects on laying out those pages. I'm not going to go too far into that because it's all about the HTML and building out the website. but you need to make sure that that is optimized. And then building your authority. So that's the offsite optimization. So getting those citations, other websites linking back to your website. That's there's a lot of strategy involved in that, getting links back to your website from websites that have a lot of traffic to them. So you can do press releases. If you can get on NBC or Fox on their website, they'll do press releases, and getting links back to your website through those can boost your authority. And then, of course, always with everything we do, track your results, right? SEO is a long-term play. So you want to make sure the changes that you're making, if they're delivering you the right results, right? So you need to be tracking those keywords, those new pages that you're making, and ensure that they're doing what you want them to do. So here's an example of just like 20 different keywords. Um, your city and painter, most popular one, right? But then there's different variations of how people are searching, right? Painting contractor, painting company, painting services, right? So you want to make sure you're targeting not these specific keywords, but different keywords for your area, right? The interior painting, the exterior painting, and then there's house painting, right? So getting the data on these keywords, doing the research on which ones are bringing in the most search traffic, and then using that to put a plan together, a content strategy on your website to make sure you have your pages, the content on your pages written out right. So now on-site optimization, you want to have a strong website with good content and user experience. You want to leverage multimedia to improve that on-page time. So videos, uh, more and more that authenticity of having a video on your page, talking about your company and your history and yourself. We see that goes a long way. Like we said, pages for each of your services, pages for each city you serve, and then unique content for each of those and on every page. So if you're doing a different page for a different city, right? You don't want to just copy paste and change out the city name. You want to make sure you're doing unique content on each of those pages, and then putting that keyword in the title of the page and that first H tag, which I said a little bit that they're header tags um, that kind of order the hierarchy of the website. And then meta description that sells the click. That's what shows up in the search results um, under the title of your website. So you want to make sure that description matches your page and the keyword. And then, of course, name, address, and phone number. We want to make sure that's always consistent across the web. Use the same name. Make sure your company name is spelled the same. If you have LLC on the end of it, make that consistent. Your address, if you have a suite or a unit number, make sure it's written out the same way every time. And the phone number, even the formatting of the phone number, make sure that's always the same. And then, of course, blogging, ongoing updates, syndication, press releases, putting fresh content out on any of the platforms you use is always important, but especially with SEO. Your competitors, the ones that are ranking, are definitely doing it. And then focusing on page speed for desktop and mobile. Mobile, super important. People have no patience when they're looking on their phones at a website, and I think it's like 3 seconds is the max before we see a lot of drop off. Okay, I'm going through this kind of quick, but now we're going to jump into off-page SEO. So number one, like we said, claim and optimize your Google Business Profile. If you haven't claimed it, that's step one. It's got to be done. Get lots of citations across the web. We're seeing this be less and less of a ranking factor. The most important citations you can get are if you have local organizations to be a part of. If there's painter associations in your area, those citations are the best. But of course, your Google Business Profile, Apple Maps, Yelp, things like that, those really big ones, definitely want to get a profile listed on there. Then building up your online reviews. There's a lot of good tools you can use. that can make that part of your company culture to make sure you're getting those reviews. But that is a huge ranking factor. And then building links back to your website from other websites. There's a ton of strategy that goes into this. A lot of work on partnering with other websites to get them linking back to you, but getting links like that can really move the needle a lot. And then strategic content syndication, right? Press releases, uh, posting it on your Facebook, making sure that when you create that content on your website, that you're posting it in different areas to make sure that it's being seen and linking back to your website. And then again, it kind of all goes back to this search algorithms, their expertise, authority, and trust, right? You want to show that expertise. You want to have a quality, structured, and media-rich website. You want to have those things on there. If you just have big blocks of text that no one's going to read, it's not going to be ranking as well. And then the authority, getting those press releases, getting links back from other websites is really going to help a lot. So now we have kind of an overall SEO checklist here, the on page, your ongoing content, your Google business profile, and then making sure you're leveraging those different signals off your website and bringing them all back. And there's a lot of different strategies that go into getting links back, like we were saying, and embedding your Google business profile on those sites. And those are things that we do day in and day out. We have great strategies and programs in place that we've found really help move that along. So we'd be happy to kind of go over that with you if you do have questions on exactly what that means. But to start, definitely have the website set up, definitely have your Google business profile, and be posting content on your website consistently. And those three things can move you a long way. If you're in a very, if you have a lot of competition or you're in a highly populated area, you're going to need to do a little bit more than that. And you're going to need to make sure everything is really dialed in to move ahead of those competitors. So if you do want help, we're here to help you. Like I said, there was a lot that I went through in that, but we do this every day. We stay on top of the changes that are coming out in SEO and the different algorithms. So, you can reach out. We're happy to go through it with you. We do a free marketing plan review where we'll go through your website, your online marketing, and give you feedback, show you what we found, if there's room for improvement. Happy to share that with you and give you some steps to move along there. So hopefully that was helpful. Went through a lot there, but the main things again, making sure you're providing a good experience for the visitor and targeting those keywords that are generating the most traffic in your area. So thank you again for taking the time. I hope you found some value in this. And again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Bye now.